Hi, welcome again to the old principle. We teach a little bit of English, use a little bit of Chinese, 我讲到拉里拉杂的中文, and, well, whatever else we do on this thing. Oh, we have a story teller, and that's not me. But before we do, I must tell you, well, you can come up here. I must tell you that this is number 132. Judy and the Mountain Lion. Now that is a cat. 是猫，不是小猫。This is 山狮子. Actually, we have several names for a mountain lion, puma. Seems to me like that we have other names for a mountain lion. Okay, but anyway, cougar.
Yeah.
So we have several different names, and of course, I come from the West. 我是西北方来的, so we have these here. In fact,
there.
There.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, not here, for sure. But my son says that where he lives in the Northwest, 他在西北方住的地方, there is actually a cougar or a mountain lion right there. But so far, the mountain lion 管自己的事情, and nobody pays attention to the mountain lion. But mountain lions are very dangerous.
They can be.
Can be very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, we shall give you that, and you can read us a story.
Okay. Judy lived in the mountains of northwestern Montana and loved to walk up the roads and trails near her home. The trees, flowers, and the river running through the valley always inspired her. One day, as she walked on a road that led to the trees just above her house, she noticed a mountain lion sitting under a tree not far away. He was looking straight toward her, his tail twitching as he watched. He was crouching and appeared as though he meant to lunge at her. She felt a stab of fear and wanted to run away, but the thought suddenly came to her that if she ran, the lion would surely run after her. What should she do? Surely by now the lion was aware that she had seen him. Slowly she retreated to an outcropping of rock across the road and not far from the place where the lion crouched. She began to sing. Now Judy, by her own admission, knows that she can't sing very well. But that day she sang her heart out to an audience of one, the lion. The lion seemed to be moved by her singing because he stayed where he had been when she first saw him. But more important, his tail no longer twitched like it had before. Judy continued to sing at the top of her lungs. She got out her cell phone and stopped singing long enough to call her husband, who was at the house, and then she began to sing again. By the time her husband got there with the Jeep, the lion had moved up the road. He was still looking at her, but he no longer crouched in a threatening manner. Judy says that she was certain that her guardian angel held that lion back that day. And perhaps the angel made her singing sound better, too.
That's very, very good. You know, if we get done with this ahead of time, we'll bring Mrs. Ash here and we'll tell the story about the day our son met, our two sons met a mountain lion face to face, 面对面.
Yes.
And we'll tell you that. I think maybe long ago I told the story somewhere.
Could be.
But we'll tell that But first, we have to tell Judy's story. Okay. So here we go. Judy and the Mountain Lion. Judy lived in the mountains of northwestern Montana. 那么 Montana 州已经算是美国的西北方，已经西北。But 在 Montana 州的西北山上 that's where Judy lived. And she loved to walk up the roads. 在这个小小的这个路上，喜欢走 walk up the roads. Up the roads usually gives the idea you're climbing up the mountains. Up the roads, usually when we say up like this, if we say down the roads, then it's usually meaning 这个下去，这个是上去。Anyway, and she liked to walk on the trails. What is a trail? A trail is a 小路. It's usually not for cars. It's for walking, okay? Near her home, close to her home. Now, what is it that she likes to see? She likes to see the trees, 树, flowers, 花, and the river running through the valley always inspired her. 树, 花, 还有经过山谷流过山谷的 river always inspired her. When you go out into nature, 你在大自然界走的时候 and you see all these beautiful things, you know what happens? You 受感动. You feel good. You feel, at least I feel like God, wherever He is a little bit closer. It's just a wonderful, it's quiet. People are not making noises. It's very nice out there. One day, as she walked on the road that led to the trees above her house, so she has a house, okay? And above her house, on the mountainside, are some trees. 有树，有森林, probably. Okay? And she's on the road. And where does the road go to? It leads to, or led to, so the road goes up to the trees on the mountainside. She, what? Noticed a mountain lion. She noticed a mountain lion, and the mountain lion was sitting underneath a tree not far away. Sitting underneath a tree not far away. About this time, if it were me, 如果是我的话，我的心脏就开始蹦蹦跳，蹦蹦蹦蹦蹦蹦蹦蹦蹦蹦，肯定。Because mountain lions are real lions, 真的是狮子。And they're wild, 他们是野兽。Now, going on, he was looking straight toward her. 他是瞪着她看。Looking straight toward her. See, he's not looking around, he's looking straight at her. 瞪着她看. His tail was twitching as he watched. The tail was twitching. Twitching means 摇来摇去. Now, dogs wag their tail. Wag. Okay? But for some reasons, cats twitch. It's a little different. It's a little different. Anyway, cats were, this big cat, this cougar, 山狮子, is twitching its tail. And usually that is a bad sign. Not a good sign. 不是一个很好的记号。你看到的话，应该是害怕。Now, if it's a little kitty, a kitty, 小猫, no problem. But this is a big kitty. Big, big, big kitty. Okay? Going on. He was crouching. 蹲着. Okay? And he appeared as though 看起来好像他想要 lunge at her. Lunge. 有进攻的跳要抓他. To lunge. To lunge is to throw yourself forward. Okay? In this case, for the cat to lunge, to jump and grab her. 抓她. Go ahead. She felt a stab of fear. When you say stab, what do you usually think of stab? You have a knife, 有刀子, to stab. How do you say that in Chinese? To stab, okay? But sometimes we use stab of fear. There's a 突然间非常非常恐惧, 害怕. Okay? Okay? A stab of fear. And she wanted to what? Run away. 她要跑掉. Except the thought suddenly came to her that if she ran, 突然间她就想, 她跑的时候, the lion would do what? The lion surely would chase after her. The lion would run after her. And so sometimes this is true. When you run, the animal, the wild animal, thinks you're trying to run away, and so they chases you. Going on. What should she do? What should she do? 她应该做什么? Surely by now the lion was aware that she had seen him. 肯定, the lion 已经意识到, realized, aware, 知道, Judy, 他已经看到他. So both of them know each other are there. Okay, going on. Slowly, she retreated. Okay, it's kind of like, I'm going to keep my eye on you no matter what. I'm going to retreat. Okay, 她推到什么? It says, 推到一个 outcropping of a rock. Okay, 凸出来的岩石. Okay, so she's up there. In my estimation, that to me, it's like, why would you go up there? 因为你没有办法这个跑掉的地方. You're on an outcropping. 可能下面是有悬崖. Okay, but anyway, whatever. 凸出来的岩石. Across the road, 在这个路的另外一边. And it was not far from the place where the lion crouch，也不是离那个上狮子的狮子这个蹲下来的一个地方啊。Okay, going on. She began to sing. Oh my! If I were her, I would sing too. Okay, now Judy, by her own admission, 她自己承认 by her own admission, knows that she cannot sing very. 知道她唱得不怎么好。She knows. 她承认 her own admission. Going on. But that day she sang her heart out. To sing your heart out means 很用心的唱歌，很用心的唱歌，很努力的唱歌。To an audience 给听众这个听 ，but the 听众 was 只有I was going to say 一位 no 一只狮子。So the 听众 the audience is one single lion. Going on. The lion seemed to be moved by her singing. 这个狮子听她唱歌，好像是有一点点打动了。So he is just listening. Because he stayed right there. He stayed there. He didn't move. He didn't move. He just stood there and watched her and listened to her sing. Going on. But more important, 更加重要, his tail no longer twitched back and forth. No longer. 它不再，它的尾巴不再这个摇来摇去，没有。Go ahead. Judy continued to sing at the top of her lungs. Oh, at the top of your lungs, 就是她继续最大力的，lungs 是肺部啊。This is 美国人的一个说法，我英文的说法。The top of your lungs, to sing or speak at the top of your lungs means 是最大的这个能力用力就唱歌。She got out her cell phone. 她就把她的手机拿出来。But was she fast or slow? Did she slowly? She got that out and stopped singing long enough to call her husband, who was at the house. 暂停，足够时间能够打电话给她在家里的丈夫。Okay? Just long enough. In other words, I can imagine she did not say, "Oh, sweetheart, guess what? I saw a big cat today, a mountain lion. Hey, it's cool." No, just, "Sweetheart, come quick. There's a lion, and he's just..." And I'm sure that the husband said, oh, okay. Then she began to sing again. 她又开始唱歌。Going on. By the time her husband got there, 直到她的丈夫到达那个地方 with the Jeep. A Jeep is a car. Truck, car. 吉普车 Is it a truck or is it a car? It's a vehicle. 反正是车子. Okay? The lion had moved up the road. 它已经这个走到这个上面去. It moved up the road. Going on. The lion was what? Still looking at her. Okay, so the lion is still looking at her, but he no longer crouched. 但没有蹲下来，没有蹲下来 in a threatening manner. Now, okay, 这个狮子或猫一蹲下来是表示要进攻啊。They're going to grab something. So a threatening 是威胁的方法，就是进攻的方法，就蹲下来。So he no longer crouched, 没有蹲下来 in a threatening manner. So now, at least when you see this, you can see that the lion is no longer going to cause you harm. So no longer 不再一次害你们. Going on, Judy says that she was certain that her guardian angel held the lion back that day. Judy 说 that she was certain, 她肯定她自己这个护卫天使. So Christians believe that each person has an angel, 这个护卫天使. And she was sure that her guardian angel, 护卫天使, held the lion back. In other words, controlled the lion. And perhaps the angel made her singing sound better. Probably. The angel helped her to sing much better also. So there you have it. This is a real story. My friend told me this story. Actually, he shared this story with me. Now, but we have our own mountain lion story. So we asked Mrs. Ash to come up here. First of all, to give a little bit of background, where were we when we met a mountain lion?
In the Wallowa Mountains.
Okay, so we were in the Wallowa Mountains. It's the mountains in the northeast of Oregon, or Oregon, the northeast. Okay, so what were we doing that day?
We were hiking.
We were hiking.
Backpacking.
Backpacking. 我们每一个人都有背包. Okay, and so we were hiking. Okay, now we continued walking on, but our boys stayed back. Do you remember what they were doing?
They were making a raft.
Oh, they were making a raft. 因为那边有一个河流. And so they saw some logs. So 他们就绑一些木头. And they said, you walk. That's us. You walk. And we're going to go down the river on the raft. Okay. So 他们要流下去. So see, actually, I think it was a good idea. Except there was one little problem. Okay, one little problem. They made the raft. 是有一点像一个船. Okay, and they put their stuff on.
Yes.
And they got out in the water and they were going, merrily we sail along, and they're going down the river, and then something happened.
They got caught on a big rock.
There was a big rock, 有很大的石头凸出来. and they couldn't get off. So what did they do?
So they had to take the stuff, the backpacks back on their shoulders.
Okay, they took the 背包. Actually, for a while, they held it over their head.
Yeah, that's right.
Because both of my boys, 他们两个是蛮高.
Tall.
They're very tall, and so they had to leave the raft there,
Way through the water.
and they just waiting 走在这个水中 down the. Okay, now all of this made them very
Late.
late, and they were
Tired. Very
筋疲力
tired.
尽
Yeah.
very tired,
Yeah.
very tired. So
So they were quite a ways behind us.
yes, 他们拉的距离是相当远 because we had walked ahead. Now, here's the problem. When they were so tired, how much talking were they doing?
Not at all.
They
were trying to catch up.
Yeah, they're trying to catch up. 尽量赶上我们 and they were not talking. And so 很安静的. Of course, they were 筋疲力尽. They're very tired. And then they came around, 绕了一个角. And what did they see?
There's a little bit of a rise there.
这是有一点上坡.
And all of a sudden they saw to the right,
Okay.
down.
Okay. Well, no, it was right there, right in front of them.
Well, it wasn't that close.
But it was very close. And I like to tell the joke that the lion, this is a mountain lion, and he was crouching, 他已经蹲着, and the mountain lion took one look at the boys and he said,
They're so
"Oh,
tall."
too tall, too skinny, 没有肉，都是骨头." and so the mountain lion ran away. So that's our mountain lion story. Very simple. Well, I better
Happy ending.
happy ending. They didn't eat. Okay. Here's our email address, theoldprinciple@gmail.com. Theoldprinciple@gmail.com. And our website is www.theoldprinciple.org. Hey, we hope that you've enjoyed our story today and join us next time for another interesting story.
Sure. Bye.